All garbage is composed of different things, but all garbage trucks smell the same. There is a universal garbage smell. I can tell you firsthand that the same thing applies to wastewater, mostly shit, but what I find interesting is that no single shit smells as bad as the aggregate waste in a sewer system. It's true. And when I was a kid, the trash cans in school lunchrooms always smelled like old bananas. It's the smell of rotting food. All decomposition smell the same, I would guess. It's the smell of banana peels, coffee grounds, fish skeletons, apple cores, and empty tuna cans. Men in older generations were more homophobic than our generation, but also more comfortable being naked around other men. Here in Finland we get naked and go sit in a small hot sauna together. True. Did you know that the YMCA and most swimming pools required boys and men to swim in the nude? Here is an article in SFW Historical Photos Men's Butts http://spegila.com 0101132021120 for 50 years the Inca most schools required males to swim naked. You know, that's a very good point. I see guys at the gym showering in their underwear because they're so terrified of being naked. It was quite normal for men to hold hands walking down the street until the Oscar Wilde trial. People with dwarfism are less likely to have broken phone screens. I don't know, man. For me, dropping my phone isn't the issue. It's the palm strike at 100 miles per hour as I try to catch my phone that causes the phone to take off at light speed towards the ground. That's the issue for me. I don't think being short would fix this. Edit. Thank you for the Reddit silver, kind strangers. Doesn't help my friend though. This guy literally throws his phone against big rocks to see if the new indestructible phone case can withstand the impact. There are bits of the screen broken off. WTF is wrong with him? Position that I have standing straight up, though the drop count remains the same for both. Last 3 breaks were less than 3 feet off the ground, but my last drop was 5 feet. Did nothing to the phone because it tumbled more instead of landing directly. Glass down like the 3 feet drops. We are all, at least mildly biologically related. Everything in the biosphere is also at least slightly biologically related. We share over 99% of all our genetic makeup with each other. Only a specific amount of genetic diversity is advantageous. You are also mildly biologically related to bees, just saying. And if you eat any vertebrates, you share a distant common ancestor with your lunch. Humans are actually all rather closely related to each other, as species go. That doesn't mean it's okay to fuck your cousin. YOUSDINKOFMOCBALLS. There's some stat about like 20 of the Earth's population being a descendant of Genghis Khan. Well, on the grand scale of biology, we might as well all be brothers and sisters. In most movies, when there is a funeral, it's like all of a sudden everyone attending drives a black car. Pretty sure many are hired limos. Also, how else would you know it's a funeral until you get to the cemetery? Rentals. You can even rent your own traffic cops for your funeral procession in Florida and Arizona, maybe other US states. Search Jeremy Do It on YouTube. He had a business that did this in Florida called Metro State. And everyone has a nice black suit, not some wrinkly, ill-fitting black suit they only wear during the occasional funeral with dirty white tennis shoes, because that's all I had. Also, there's always a lot of room for people around the grave at funerals, but when people visit graves in movies, there's headstones all around the grave. I hate you for pointing this out. This will haunt my movie watching. The most effective natural laxative is anxiety. You're wrong, it's prunes. I found out after having 12 because they tasted good, and the bag didn't have a warning. I mean, anxiety makes you shit yourself. Salmonella, on the other hand, does not let you have anything in your system. Nothing though, and it's all natural. My mom ate half a box of mangoes one time. Laxative effect initiated. I who ate the other half of the box had no such effect. Weird. Not for me. I will hold a poo for days if I am anxious. One time I didn't poo for about 5 days and had some of the best Indian food of my life. That night I pooped for 20 minutes straight with multiple flushes. I am a very small woman. Large offices during the typewriter era must have been so fucking loud. Even during the early office computer era. Early computer keyboards were built like typewriter keyboards and were loud as hell. It wasn't out of ordinary to see folks in typist pool wear ear protection. And you could hear which floors had the typist pools. As you went up an elevator, you didn't need to stop on the floors to hear it either. They were. Go back and look at the Daily Planet scenes in 1978 Superman or 1980's 9 to 5. Loud as hell, and accurate. People were just used to it then. Even small offices with only one or two were loud. I'm not sure the 1984 Model M keyboard was much of an improvement, but in an office building full of them, it was pure hell until your ears accustomed to it. Since ghosts are said to typically haunt the place where they died, cemeteries are likely not all that haunted. I would probably guess they are the least haunted area. Hospitals, though. Everyone knows that ghosts go to their own burial ceremonies to stare daggers at their murderers or ungrateful grandchildren. The ones who were buried alive, though, are probably among the most tormented in their moment of death. Yeah. It would be very ironic, yet convenient if you died at a cemetery. Apparently 37 of Americans believe in haunted houses, but only 30 to believe in ghosts, which means that 5 of Americans believe in haunted houses, but not the ghosts that haunt them. Source: Rationality by Steven Pinker. Your ancestors led harder lives, but probably found it easier to find contentment than you do. I've got spina bifida, hydrocephalus, epilepsy, and depression. I'm not so sure they had it all that much harder than me. Not too sure about that. Great-grandma suffered from depression. My other great-grandparents died in their 30s after a hard life in the Depression, leaving my grandfather an orphan. I'm pretty sure my grandmothers, who lost half their children before 10 and had a high chance of dying in childbirth or being beaten to death by their husband, weren't feeling a ton of contentment. You could have landed a home and life if you worked hard. Now you're just desperate to try and make rent. You don't miss what you don't know. I didn't thought I was poor unlucky until I saw how people live in Northern Europe, Australia, Canada. Many tattoos or surgeries have been ruined by earthquakes. Brain surgery during earthquakes really sucks. Get too much of that scrambled egg factor. Dude, you ain't going to maths class anytime soon. I had never thought of this before. Now you have opened a horrific part of my mind. Is it weird that I'd like a tattoo like that? At least it would have a cool story. Surgery, though. Not so much lol. Earthquake warning systems like in Japan and currently being rolled out in China and the west coast of the US send signals to major hospitals, giving them a few seconds warning. The theory is that surgeons can stop surgery a second or two before the quake hits. I don't know if the effectiveness of this has been scientifically tested. When I had my vasectomy done, the operating table had a wobbly leg. It was concerning to say the least. People laugh about how cats love boxes, but if there was suddenly a box bigger than you in your living room, you'd probably go in it too. Huh, stupid cat, I laugh as I lean back in my cardboard box fort. Every time I change a 40 or 50-gallon water heater, I poke eye holes in it and proceed to wear it on my way over to the cardboard dumpster. It's pretty much a ritual now. The best is when cats get in boxes that are smaller than them, though. I mean, practically everyone did this as kids. When we got a new appliance, we'd turn the box into a spaceship or a monster with its mouth open, line the inside with pillows, and watch movies in it lol. Everyone built forts of some kind. Worked at a warehouse that housed boxes for moving storage. Can confirm. You're usually only 2 layers of clothing away from someone's butthole. This is the quality content we need more of in Shower Thoughts. Your butthole is usually 4 layers of clothing away from someone else's butthole. There are 0 layers in showers. Don't drop the soap, unless you want to, I guess. When you're in a crowded place, you are literally surrounded by buttholes. I thought about this for way more time than it warranted. Congratulations, good Redditor. 0. There are 0 layers of clothing if I go through the mouth. I wear 3 layers typically from fall to about spring, so for about half the year, it's actually 3 layers till you get to my butthole. Thank you very much. But when kissing open mouth, you make one long tube from butthole to butthole. Almost every single person has tea themselves in public. I can safely say it hasn't happened since elementary school. But who knows? Shit happens. I was about to comment that I have never shit myself in public. And then I remembered that one time in high school track practice when I was running at 400 and shit myself in public. I like to say I exclusively shit my pants in the 70s. Because it's true. There are 2 types of people, those that have shat their pants and those that lie about it. Yay, as a kid baby I guess, but I don't really consider stuff I did as a lil kid as stuff I did, cause me as a kid is basically a sentient traffic cone.